Experimenting with the impact that glasses have on wines again. This time we're doing it with a Chardonnay, but we're going to do it in about an hour or so when the sun's down because the glare's just too much right now. And I got a call to do. All right, welcome back to Drinking It In. I am your host, Chris Casara. We are here to help you know more and drink better. Sun's gone down. The day is more or less over. And it's time to do our little wine experiment with the glasses again. This time with the white wine. So in one of the previous videos, you saw me taste this 2015 Chardonnay from Santa Rita Hills, Dominion Tantara. And what I wanted to do is see the three glasses that I have, right? Do they actually present a different experience through the tasting? And also, does the quote right or correct white wine glass make for the best experience? So maybe let's go from smallest to largest. I'm going to switch around these guys. So if we think of the descriptions of these wine glasses, this is what where you should be drinking white wine out of, right? Small glass. Narrow base, but obviously still having a, focusing the aromas. This glass, which looks like it's a little dirty. Oh boy. All right. Is a Burgundy glass, technically, or Burgundy Nebbiolo glass, supposed to have a bigger base, letting more air in, letting the aromatics get more air and presenting the wine in a favorable way. And then this glass is more of a Cabernet glass, which is still bigger than the white wine glass, but not as pronounced of a bowl. And, so that the aromas are not being as focused, so I guess more severely, right? This is more of a gradual slope. When we tried what did we try this with? I think we tried this experiment with a Brunello, and we definitely got different results. So let's try this out and see what we get. If I recall correctly, this wine, had a lot of tropical fruit. We got some circus peanuts, a little minerality, a touch of vanilla. So there was a lot of goodness here, and I want to see what the experience is. Let's start. We're going to start with the white wine glass, small glass. See what this brings us. So it's a very clean, pretty nose, lots of steel, getting that pineapple, maybe even a little honey now. Wine still smells really good. A little more vanilla coming through on the palate. Still really clean and delicious. There's that honey note. I didn't get honey the last time we tried this. There's definitely a honey note that came through on the nose and on the palate. Let's move on to the Burgundy glass. Now, with white wines, I guess you're not necessarily supposed to serve your white wines in a glass that's this wide because the aromas dissipate quicker. I don't know. Let's see what this does. It's funny. The aromas are much less pronounced in here. So whereas the aromas are really focused and actually kind of strong in this glass, they're much more muted in this glass, which makes sense, right? If this wine doesn't need as much surface area and is taking on a little too much oxygen, that's dissipating some of those aromas. All right, that's interesting. So there's absolutely no presence of honey or sweetness when drinking out of this glass. honey on the nose, a sweetness or a little honey on the palate. This is kind of like all vanilla and pineapple on the palate, but when I stick my nose in this glass, I get very little on the nose. I really have to search for some of that fruit and that steely minerality. So without a doubt, this experience is much better than this experience. So that would prove some of the belief, right? Or that would prove the Rita philosophy that, you know, this type of glass should be for your Pinot Noirs and Nebbiolos. All right, let's move over here to the Cabernet glass, or excuse me, Bordeaux glass. Again, these glasses are supposed to be more universal than something like this, but let's see what the impact of the white wine has. Okay, so it's definitely in the middle of these two in terms of strength of aroma. There's a little more than here, but definitely not as much as in the smaller glass. The aromas are the same, right, or similar. Steel, pineapples. No notes of honey. And much less vanilla. So that's got a fair amount of vanilla, and I barely get any vanilla on this. So there is some, you know, citrusy, pineapple-y steeliness here. No vanilla, no honey. Okay, so the wine is definitely more lively on the palate. And sometimes you do these types of experiments and it's pretty wild because, you know, you don't necessarily think too much about the glasses, or I don't tend to overthink my wine in a particular glass. Sometimes I'll throw a red in this glass. It's rare that I put a white in this glass, but I am definitely going to think twice about it. This one kind of serves better as something a little more universal, but they're so big, right? It sometimes becomes a little bit, you know, just a little big on the table. So in the end, this white wine is 100% a much better experience in the smaller white wine glass. The aroma of honey and vanilla and sweetness, right? And even on the palate is somewhat pronounced here. A little comes through on here, nothing at all on here. And this, the nose it's much less enjoyable. Actually, that time it smelled like a pear. It evolves that time, but if I had to rank these, if I'm pouring a Chardonnay, we're going with this glass first, this glass second, and this glass only in an emergency. We're going to continue these experiments, right? We've done it with a big red. Now we've done it with a pretty big white. I think we'll, or maybe we did it with Burgundy the last time. I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and look. But if we did the experiment with Burgundy, we'll come back and do this with like a Cabernet or a Bordeaux style wine. If we did the experiment with Cabernet, we'll come back and do it with a Pinot Noir or a Nebbiolo and see once and for all, see if you know, the glasses design really makes a difference. And the more I drink out of different glasses, same wine, different glasses, the more I think it does make a difference. So I hope you've gotten some value out of this. Hey, like and subscribe. You know, 93.4% of the people who are watching this video are not subscribed. And I'm pretty sure that 93.4% of the people who are watching this video didn't get to this point in the video. So if you have, thank you so much, and cheers. See you next time.